I just came in from a big thunderstorm. It's pouring out there. It's coming down like cats and dogs. It's raining buckets. So that was good because I've taught myself to get over that fear of elemental conditions, the elements. I've taught myself to get over that fear because that's what our world is about. And if we believe the trends because of technology and human folly, the weather's getting worse. But that's just the intro to this video. It got me thinking, late at night even, on this subject that everybody's trying to teach something. And if you want to learn, you have to choose wisely. You have to make a decision as to your source of teachings. Now, I wanted to go over the different categories of teachings because every aspect of society basically teaches you something from their point of view or from their chosen perspective on life. I wanted to call it some perspective. It's like it's an angle of looking at things. And what I mean by this is not just to say that something is secular or religious. There's so many different ways of slicing it. It's not just opposites, although opposites are a big part of it. Teachings come from all different levels, everything that you can imagine. So the first one could be political. And I want to tell you, um, just as a general statement, politicians are out there to teach something. They're pushing, they're teaching upon the people that are politically inclined or political orientation of looking at things. I'm not talking about what their political party is orientation. I'm talking about having a political orientation mindset. Okay, so that I had to clarify that because that could be easily taken the wrong way, or there's several ways to take that. So the way I want you to take it is that politics as a whole, politics itself, is an orientation of looking at the world with all of its different teachings in there. Politicians have all kinds of different teachings for those who will listen. So I'm asking you to listen if you're still curious, but be skeptical and analyze it very carefully. I don't trust any politicians. And there's a reason why. I'm not going to get into that right now. I just happen to know something. I'm sure of it. And some of it comes from past life experience. Okay, so enough about that. Let's talk about another angle, another level of looking at things, another perspective from a different type of people. We have politicians and then we have the religious. And obviously that's a teaching in itself, all religions. But they have different words for it. They call it dogma. They call it creed. They call it indoctrination. I mean, that can be a different thing too, because you can get indoctrinated into politics, you can get indoctrinated into college type of thinking. So let's go with that. Other than religion, you have this angle on life, which is the colleges itself, which higher education, adult education, any kind of uh, school class that is beyond the basics, beyond elementary school. Elementary meaning fundamental, the earlier, the child's stuff. Anything beyond that is going to be higher education. They obviously have a teaching. That's what they are. That's like a group of teachers, or as you want to maybe use the more professional term, their career is professors. They profess something. And by the way, that sounds a lot like religion because it's basically where it came from. I think the first colleges were religious um, oriented. They were coming from the educational wing of the religion itself, of the priest, of the core group that was pushing the religion. You got to look at the history of that to prove it. Now, other teachings are going to come from areas that are not so obviously about what they're teaching, what their beliefs are. And that would be music. That's a really big thing because I don't trust any musician, by the way. I've been around a long time. Too long, in fact. But the music of especially today's musicians, those that they call musical artists or something, performing arts, uh, these people don't know what they're talking about. They're talking about like low level things. But you have to realize these are teachings. They're trying to push this idea about life on you. It's not just as innocent as you might think, like, oh, it's a love song. No, there's different ways, and it's very sappy. It's very emotional based. It's dragging you into lower emotional experience of life, you know, like the heartache, heartbreak, breaking up, I'm so lonely type of attitude. So you gotta be careful because every time you listen to a song, most of the music out there will tell you that the world is that way that they're singing of in their lyrics. Well, I've just gotten started, but what I'm trying to tell you is be careful because everyone out there is basically trying to teach you something, and I feel like okay, I'm in the middle of a video. Kids, okay, close the door, first of all, and keep it like kind of quiet. It is late at night. Go into the bathroom and brush your teeth. I know you had a really great time watching your favorite Wizard of Oz thing. Now you need to be quiet. Sorry for the interruption, but you see, I was just saying I'm a teacher. I'm definitely a teacher to my own kids and the friends of my kids, and we're doing a homeschooling project. We're doing basically like our own private school, although we're going to register it probably through. Well, I don't want to get too specific here with this. That's not what this video is about. This video is about everyone's trying to be a teacher, and I said that generically I am a spiritual teacher. What does that mean? What does that mean? You put the adjective in front of teacher, say spiritual. You could also say mystical. Why is that? Why do I do that? Well, you listen and you take a look and you feel that vibration. Even though I've already told you, I've admitted the weakness of video. I really cannot cut it. It's not like being with me directly in the flesh, which is really where we need to go. But what it is through the video is feeling the vibration of what is being taught. I am doing a teaching, And I've done that right now. I'm teaching you to open up your eyes and be very careful. Don't just believe everything you're told just because you're caught up into this angle on life. You want to hear what the politicians say, or you want to hear what the musicians say, or you want to hear what the poets say, or I was almost going to say sports figures, but they don't really have anything to teach except in the body. They teach like running after a ball, or um, throwing, aiming a ball, or running real fast when it's your turn in the game, running. So that's a different type of teaching. It's a body teaching. I'm talking about mental level teachings. I'm talking about how they're believing that you should deal with others, who you are and who you're not. The us and them always is a part of the teaching, and I've done it too. I'm not saying it's wrong. Just be aware of everything. Be aware that everything that's coming at you in this world, in these vlogs, in these news reports, in these magazines, in these songs, everything, be aware that it's a teaching. They're trying to teach you something, and those teachings are a belief system that they want you to belong to. It's like join the club, join our group. That's what they're saying. So they need to teach you the way of looking at the world that they do. These are the fundamentals of becoming part of the Kaiboa tribe. And this is also a part of our general educational group or educational organization, which is called Civology. It's a study of all civilization for all of history to get a better idea and expanding comprehension of humanity. What's the meaning of life? What's the purpose of our being here in this world? On the planet, if you want to call it that. Earth. I can't wait to make my next video, but I'm open to comments on this video as long as it stays up here in my video collection. Thanks for watching. Like it, subscribe, what else? Share it as much as you want.